Hello there folks, my name is Great Mighty Poe, and welcome to part 47 of Elden Ring Reforged Master Mode. I was trying to cliffhanger last time, so let's go see what we're dealing with. It's a Banished Knight as a boss, which is fun. It's a Twin-Sword Banished Knight as a boss. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to do good at the first try. He's got a decent chunk of health by the looks of it. I like how his first move is to teleport behind you and do the Uber combo. That's funny, I have to say. He's quite hard to parry as well, so that's fun. I think he's intended to kind of be the deflection tutorial. So you really want to get your perfect deflections down right, but fuck that. Fuck that. I ain't all about that shit. I'm all about suffering. Oh, that's not much damage. Oh, that's kind of terrible. He's got Storm Stomp? I didn't know they could do that. It's from the shield ones that do the Storm Stomp. Oh, they've mixed in some. Oh, interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. You know, let's not go for the parries. Let's just two-hand this katana and we'll do deflex. Fuck it. Yeah, the Storm Stomp is really weird. No shield. It feels like my blocks aren't going in, or they're going in delayed or something, because, yeah. The problem I have is I don't want to get my runes out of here. Yeah, like, I don't like how this fight punishes imperfect deflex. Like, if it's meant to be a deflection tutorial, it's a pretty fucking bad one, I have to say. Because you get one imperfect deflect and your stamina is just deleted. I think I might go back to trying to parry because it feels like the only way I'm going to be able to do damage. Can you not parry any of that? I feel like you can parry the start of that. You have to be able to. Like, it's a normal sword attack. It doesn't make any sense not to be able to parry it. Do I have to pull up the fucking Anim Studio and take a look? Actually, no, I probably can't with ERR, unfortunately. Because most of their files are encrypted. Yeah, like I push block and it doesn't go through. Because the stun is, I think, a little bit too long on some of his attacks. So you can't get a deflect in time, it feels like. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels like once you get hit, that's it. You're dead. Even though I've had runs where that hasn't been the case. Yeah, like, I don't get a perfect, and it forces my block. I don't know what to do. Legitimately, I just die as soon as the fight starts because I can't get a deflect in. I've lost my runes, but I don't care. Oh, now you do a combo that can be parried. This guy is interesting, but I hate French folk even more now. He does not feel appropriate. Yeah, like... He definitely feels like they've pulled him straight out of Faramazula. Or Castle Sol. Just like one of those really horrible late game areas, because holy fuck has this guy got health and attacks for days. Back himself to a corner, teleporting spam. It's annoying. Why does he have to be the teleporting kind? That's the worst kind. Why can't he just be the normal kind that doesn't teleport? It'd make it so much more dynamic to fight him, rather than just like, oh, you did an R1? Well, now I'm gonna teleport. Okay, you can't strafe that? That's fun. Really? I haven't seen that combo in ages, so it's getting a different one. Man, this guy's hard to read. He's definitely got the problem where I'm not sure if my parries are bad, or if he just can't be parried on certain attacks. I love how you can just go into that whenever he wants, with seemingly no wind-up. That's fun. I haven't even seen if he's got a phase 2, which he probably does, because of course he does. And very part of that. Interesting. Mistimed my parry. Like, it seems like I can get him down to maybe 50%. Maybe? I have enough healing to tank it out, I think, but I don't know. That would feel kind of bad if I just tanked out this fight. He was gonna do that fucking combo right after doing it the first time. I wasn't gonna do an R1 until I got a fucking parry. Yeah, block the first hit, then parry the second. Seems to be the idea there. I'm fairly sure an input got eaten there. I did a parry input, and my character just stood there. I'm not too sure though. It's hard to tell sometimes whether your character is trying to parry or if the parry just is too late, so you get hit and you don't get to see the animation. It's hard to tell. At least with the sort of the teleporting, it gives you lots of space to heal. Like, as one thing I'm saying is, in terms of needing space to heal, oh my god, you fucking dick. He's back up to full! He's not gonna do that every single time, is he? Oh, why does he have a heal? Why? If there's some kind of gimmick to where you have to stop him from doing the heal, otherwise he will just keep going infinitely, I'm gonna be so pissed because there's no way I can stop that heal. He teleports halfway across the arena to do it. Like, come the fuck on. I still have arrows reach on. Yeah, give me that guard counter damage. That's the shit. I like how sometimes Perfect Deflect doesn't stop his combo, but only sometimes. I accidentally crouched. Yeah, I don't know what happens there. Just sometimes with that combo, you just be spamming block and it just will not register for some reason. Like, you get staggered during one part of it and then you're just fucked for the rest of it. It's really frustrating. I think also maybe I tried to crouch there because, well, the stick inputs are fun, aren't they? Come on! I'm gonna be honest, I really don't want to spend 3 hours here. Or 2 hours, or however long it takes. Like, this boss has the room bear problem, whereas moveset is just kind of repetitive and boring after a while. I hate that he has a Storm Stomp. Why does he get a Storm Stomp? I might actually need to look at using a shield, like, properly, because I don't think there's any other way for me to deal with that combo, aside from sheer fucking luck. I might just need to block the entire combo, because I cannot reliably get deflex on it. Why can't you strafe that? I'm sorry, but that is just complete horseshit. There's just some attacks that should be strafeable, but they just have a slight bit of tracking to make it so you can't strafe them. It kind of goes against this mod. And its whole tutorial where it shows you how to strafe attacks But then you can never use it because everything's got such absurd tracking that attacks that should be strafable aren't. Fuck me. When are you gonna bugger off and do your heal? Like, you did that last time around this percent, but this time you didn't. I love consistent bosses, they're my favourite. Cute input. Cute input. Cute fucking input. Oh my god, this, every issue I have with this game keeps cropping up during this fucking fight. So what happened is I was spamming the parry button because my inputs weren't going through when I needed them to. And so they all jumbled up all at once. So I did multiple parries at once, so I couldn't actually time my parry properly because I was doing multiple parries. Because if I spam the parry button, you can see that happens. So, yeah. My frantic desperation to actually get the fucking parry to go through cost me everything. That's fun. I tried to jump the Storm Stomp, which makes, actually that makes sense in my brain because it's a stomp attack. So I feel like it should be something you can jump, but you can't because it's not like other stomps for some reason. Again, fight breaking the rules isn't surprising in ERR, but still. I'm just bored. Like, I'm just bored at this point. I've just reached the point where this boss, I'm like, yeah, I've seen everything it can do. I just want to beat it now, and it's got nothing interesting left to show me. And it's quite frustrating knowing that his health bar is fake as well. I hate false health bars. I got a partial parry. Which you'd think it'd mean that I can parry something. Really? Why is he not doing the heal now? What? Okay, so the flame has a weird hitbox as well. That's fun. Fuck me, man. That should have follow up there that he did. Did I never see him do? Would have had that if he hadn't healed. Like, why does he get a heal to full? I don't get a full heal. I get fucking nothing in this fight except shattered dreams and hopes and expectations of a fun fight. Hate. Why did that fucking do so much damage? Oh my god. I tried to perfect it and the game just went, no, you don't perfect it. You just get your stamina fucking deleted. Like, why? I wasn't blocking. I was trying to fucking deflect. And that's half the issue right there. Is sometimes perfect deflex will interrupt his combos. Sometimes they won't. And sometimes he'll follow up with that flip, and sometimes he won't. And so, I either take the punish and maybe get punished, or I was out of stamina. Fuck me, man. Where was the stance break? I was thinking, oh, I've hit him with multiple guard counters in R1 at this point. Stance should have built up enough for a break, but no. And I haven't got a question about it because I never get comments. But, well, I do get comments, but they're very rare. But you're wondering why I don't install the posture bar mod? I just don't want more shit on my HUD, and it feels unvanilla as well. Which, you know, I'm playing a mod, which isn't vanilla. I got gut broken. So it's like, okay, then there's no excuse there, but like, it also feels like cheating, kind of. Like, I don't know how to explain it in a way that doesn't just sound stupid. Like, the game clearly doesn't give you that info for a reason, and I think part of that reason is to encourage you to play aggressively, to force you into that sort of playstyle. If I know that I'm not gonna get a guard break, or if I'm not gonna get a stance break, then it's safe of me to just back off, rather than try and push the advantage and try and get that stance break. If you know what I mean. Dick. I just took the death there. I wasn't feeling it. Sorry, I'm just getting... Like I said 10 minutes ago, I was getting bored. And, yeah, nah. Boredom is relatively set in. This fight just takes way too long. I guess on non-master mode, he'll have half health, which, you know, helps. But, yeah. that's one of the difficulties with difficulty, I guess, is just number go up. Or number but bigger. Doesn't always equate to more fun. A more complex and more varied moveset, that's fun. Making them do new combos, stuff like that, that's fun. And that's one of my, I guess, one of my problems with the difficulty systems in Reforged is because there is the hard mode AI changes, but they're locked to the harder difficulties, which have the stat increases as well. And Kurt's justification for that is if bosses didn't have more health, you wouldn't be able to see the new stuff anyway, so they kind of need the more health. But I think Adept, they have more than enough health to show you new stuff. So having that option for Adept would be really nice. Because not everyone wants to deal with stat bloat. And I say stat bloat, but it's not stat bloat. It's just that's a catch-all phrase I can use. I haven't got a parry yet, because I felt like getting one. So it's not a full heal. But it is a chunky heal. Yeah, that combo's a bit weird, like, I don't know. Exactly how to deal with part of it. I think we've got him at this point. Unless he heals again. Hey, got him. Not a bad fight. I actually quite enjoyed that at some points. I think early on I enjoyed that. I think after a bit, though, I got a bit sick of it. Definitely. I think, yeah, I think it's a fight that suffers because of Master Mode, unfortunately. That's just how some fights be, is they just... With more health, they don't actually offer much more in terms of actual difficulty. I just want to quickly pop back to the Gilded Court, because I haven't been here in a bit, and I got some stuff to pick up. So, yay. Yeah, we got that painting done, which was pretty good. See, the paintings also lit the walls, which is quite cool. We have another 2. It seems like every 5%, so every one that's got a 5 after it, so 5%, 15, 25, etc, etc, that'll be 2, and then every 10% one, so 10%, 20%, 30%, etc, those will be 3. So it's 5, essentially 5 per 10%, for a total of 50, which yes, makes sense for what this said. So, yeah. Okay, cool. Oh yeah, and that's why Fringe Folk is labelled Fringe Folk, is because Fringe Folk's grave is the first area. I went past them, didn't I? Yeah, so Fringe Folk, which is all the Godric stuff. That's all because of that. Oh, if you want an idea of what I like in terms of what I'd like in terms of difficulty, there's a video game by the name of Shadow of War, and it has a difficulty called Brutal Mode. 359. I didn't know we cracked 300. Holy crap. But there's a game called Shadow of War. It's got a difficulty called Brutal Mode. Brutal Mode, essentially what it does is enemy health doesn't change. Enemies have the exact same health as always. Maybe a little bit more, I'm not too sure. But what does change is your damage and the enemy damage. So both you and the enemies end up dealing, I think, double damage. So both you and the enemies die really quickly. And that doesn't really help too much with bosses, though, because bosses are going to hit really hard and take a bit more to take down. So it makes enemies less of a threat, but makes bosses still a decent challenge, but not be so tanky that they're annoying. And then also Brutal Mode, like, I guess an equivalent would be in ER, it also essentially gives you, like, you have a special resource in that game that builds up faster. That's the best way I can describe it. So essentially, you can do your special abilities more often. So that'd be like having, you know, more FP on hit or something like that. Like, just something that encourages super aggressive play. Like, I'd love a difficulty like that. I've used it in the past, but it got shot down, unfortunately. But, yeah. There's something that's, you know, brutal, fast-paced, aggressive combat is, maybe not the fast-paced. But, like, yeah, both you and the enemies are deadly, so I don't feel like I'm using a wet pull noodle. But I don't know, I do actually quite like Master Mode. At least for the enemies. For the bosses, I'm a little bit iffy on it, but it's fine. Enjoying it somewhat. So, yeah. I'll stop rambling, because that's what I'm doing. I'm rambling again. Because I know that all that's left for Limgrave is Godric. And there's nothing else for it. It is just Godric. Godric isn't too bad in ERR. We'll get to him. Guess what, guys? Time for another cliffhanger. Oh, no. But I need a break after that. So, yeah. Been a rather long episode. This one, I'm not going to bother cutting this down, so you're going to see every attempt for this. So, yeah. But yeah, I'll say once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, guys. Have a good one.